Drugstore makeup has been fantastic this year in 2024. I've tried so many amazing products that I couldn't wait to share with you guys. But recently, I have tried a couple of things that I felt like were really hit or miss, and some that were just awful. So while I always enjoy sharing products that I love with you, I also want to share the bad things because I think it's important that you don't waste your money if they're not going to work out. So today, I wanted to do some speed reviews, and I'm going to be starting out with the negative stuff, and then we'll end the video on a positive note. And as always, I'm here for you guys, not the brands. So while you may not always agree with my opinion when it comes to makeup, just know that I'm giving you my honest feedback. So do with that what you will. And let's just jump right into it. So this is the worst of the worst products that I tried recently. This is a new mascara from CoverGirl, and it is called the Lash Blast Supercloud Mascara. So this claims to give weightless lift and length for your lashes, and it's supposed to be a very airy, lightweight formula that's supposed to keep your lashes lifted all day. But the first time I tried this, I actually thought I was being punked. It was a heavy, wet, almost sticky feel, pretty much the opposite of what it claims to do. And it was also causing my lashes to stick together a little bit. And it gave me a little length and volume, but not as much as I usually like. So I was just super confused because my experience did not line up with the claims at all. And even though this is really new and it just came out, I took a chance and went to the Ulta website hoping that there would be some reviews that had the same experience as I did. And there were 761 reviews. All of them pretty much were incentivized, which means that they were sent the product for free, and most of them were glowing reviews. But there was one review at the top, which was the newest one, and the title said, "Mediocre at best." They said this mascara is pretty wet and that makes it a bit heavy, which weighs down the lashes rather than helps them curl nicely. It did dry quickly though, so I was able to sort of hold my lashes in place long enough to keep a little lift, but it offers no volume to individual lashes, rather sticks your lashes together. And then the review just goes on about her experience, but I was like, okay, finally. Somebody is also saying that this feels heavy and weighs your lashes down, and I definitely felt that way about this mascara. And the worst part was, at the end of the night, it had smudged all underneath my eyes. I mean, it was a hot mess. I'm just glad that I was at home and not out somewhere looking like this. So the bottom line is I do not recommend this formula. I don't think it lives up to the claims at all. Next up, we have a new release from Moira. These were sent to me in PR. They're their Stellar Gaze Shadow Sticks. You all know how much I love Moira. They are a great company. They have so many amazing releases that I use all the time. But these fell a little bit flat for me, and I'll explain why. So first of all, these are $8.50 each, so really good deal. They come in 12 shades, and they claim to be waterproof, transfer-proof, and crease-proof. The shades also have a dual chrome shift, and they're really glittery. So if you don't like glitter, you're gonna wanna skip these right away. If I compare them to something like, let's say, the L'Oreal eyeshadow sticks, those have more of that smooth metallic type of finish. These are just straight up like more intense sparkle with the glitter flecks. And while the Moira shadow sticks are really creamy and go on smoothly, I found that when you go to blend these, they get patchy really fast. They kind of lift up when you blend them either with a brush or your fingers. I've used both. And it's a lot more noticeable in the deeper shades like this emerald green than it is with the lighter shades like this one, which is called Opal Essence. It's a beautiful color and it's closer to my skin tone. So I think if this one gets patchy, maybe I just didn't notice it as much. But I found that a lot of these are also very sheer, almost like more of a wash of glitter like a topper would be. On the positive side, these did last a long time on my eyes. I'll just show you what they look like at the end of the night. It wasn't quite as intense as when I first applied it, but they didn't crease and most of the glitter stayed on my eyelids, even though I did have some transfer down on my cheeks and at the corner of my eye. So they're not completely transfer proof either. Personally, I just didn't like these on their own. I feel like you can't just draw these on and then not blend it. I did try doing that, but it just looked unfinished. Then the problem is when you go to blend it, they sheer out and get that patchy look. So I think what I'd probably do with these is just put down some powder shadows first and use them like I would a topper. I would probably take a little bit just on my finger like this and then just pat that on like I would any cream shadow. And I think that would probably work out a little bit better. That way I wouldn't apply quite as much and it would just give me that little wash of glitter and kind of that scattered light effect. But if you like that, I would highly recommend their Chroma Light shadows. Those are a powder formula, very similar to something like the Urban Decay Moon Dust, and they give a gorgeous sheer wash of color with the little micro glitters. They're beautiful. I also love their Diamond Days eyeshadows, so if you like a duochrome effect, those are a little more metallic. Some of them are a little glittery, but those do not budge the entire day, and I just like them better than these. So this is just one of those rare times that I'm not impressed with a Moira launch. It's not very often that that happens, but it could also just be a personal preference thing. Next up, I ended up getting this Wet n Wild palette. It's the Hello Kitty collection. They had one that was pink and I could not resist this purple one. I saw it at Walgreens one day and I just had to buy it. It has these gorgeous cool tones and I love purple, so this was right up my alley. It has 16 shades and this is very shimmer heavy overall. There are 9 shimmers and only 5 mattes. And then of the 5 mattes, 3 of them are true mattes and then 2 of them are a matte with the micro glitter type of thing. So the shimmer shades are mostly satin with 2 glitter shades that are a bit on the chunky side. And the satiny shimmers I find are really subtle, so they're not going to pop as much on your eyes. And if you like a more bold metallic type of shadow, you're probably going to be disappointed with this palette. Also, the 2 glitter shades that come in this palette are so messy. I'll just show you what they look like when I'm swatching them. One of them feels like it's in a creamy base and it almost seems like craft glitter. And then the other one is really dry with nothing to hold it in place, so it just goes everywhere. I was also really disappointed with the matte shades in this palette because they're all super light. They don't show up on me and I'm pretty fair overall. The pigment just isn't there and I hate that they didn't include any deeper matte shades. This one down here, these shades that are a little darker, are shimmer shades. So you technically can use them in your crease, but I know a lot of people don't like to do that either. So if you like using matte shades, that's gonna be a disappointment for you as well. So overall, I do love the color story of this palette, but I just think the execution of it was poor. At first, I thought maybe I could use some of these shimmer shades as one and done shadows, but most of them, with the exception of this one, which is really beautiful and foiled, the rest are just a little too subtle and they don't have enough shine for me. They just kind of fall flat on your eyes. But that being said, if you like more of a subtle shimmer shade, you might really like this one. If you're a fan of Hello Kitty, I don't know, I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've tried these palettes. They also don't feel like Wet n Wild's normal formula to me, so it could just be that these limited editions aren't the best quality, but let me know your thoughts for sure. Next up, CoverGirl just released their new Yummy Plumper Glosses, and to tell you the truth, I was kind of conflicted about these. I really like the shades that they come in, and the Yummy Gloss formula is super smooth and really non-sticky. They almost feel like a cushiony lip balm versus a gloss, so I love that. But this plumping formula is a little bit intense. I'm trying to decide if it's too much for me. I generally don't like plumping glosses at all, but if it has a slight tingle, I'm usually okay with it. These have more of that cool, minty, refreshing feel when you first apply them. They have menthol in the formula, and over the next couple minutes, it kind of intensifies into more of that cooling sensation that almost burns at the same time. It's not unbearable, but you can feel it for about 10 minutes or so before it calms down, and then they just feel normal after that. And if these actually caused my lips to plump up and look larger, I could deal with that. But the fact is, they just didn't. They didn't make my lips look any different. So I felt like I have to kind of suffer through that burning for what? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. In that case, I would just stick with the regular Yummy Glosses because those don't have the intense burn that these do. So overall, I wouldn't say that these are horrible. They're not at the bottom of my list. They're somewhere in the middle, but I just don't really see myself reaching for them that much because they don't plump my lips enough or at all to really deal with the burning sensation. All right, next up, Colourpop has some holiday kits that I saw over at Ulta that I really wanted to share with you guys. And I did do a YouTube short on these already, but it was just kind of swatches that were really quick, and I'll show you the swatches again. I have them filmed, unfortunately, in short form, so they're vertical, but I don't know, I might be able to turn them sideways. If they work that way, I will do that for this video, but I wanted to expand a little bit on these because I really didn't do that in the short. I just played music over it. So The first kit is Holiday Hues, and this is a lip kit. It has 3 lip liners in it, and this is probably my least favorite, even though it's not bad. Again, it's kind of somewhere in the middle, but we'll work up to my favorite. So this one first has 3 lip liners. It has 5 stars, which is a nude pink, Double Tap, which is a neutral berry, and Me Again, which is a mauvey pink. These are all gorgeous Your Lips But Better shades, but they all look kind of the same to me. Like, I can hardly tell the difference, especially when you put them on your lips. They're almost indistinguishable from each other. So this kit really doesn't make a lot of sense unless you were maybe going to buy this like to use as stocking stuffers. You wanted to break it up and put like a lip liner, you know, give a lip liner to 3 different people maybe, but I feel like they're the same color, except this one is maybe like slightly more cool toned. Then there's one that's a little warmer, and then there's one that's neutral, but it's like they're so close. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And over at Ulta, they do have another kit just like this that has more nude lip liners. And with that one, I feel like the colors are a little bit more distinguishable. They're a little different. So that is another option if you wanted to check that out. Their lip liners are fantastic and they're such a good price. Also, speaking of lips, we have these cute little kits that are so adorable. These have like lip combos in them. So you have their So Juicy Plumping Lip Balm and then one of their lip liners as well, the So Juicy ones. So we have Under the Mistletoe and Cozy Era. And I love these balms because they're really similar to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy ones. They have the melty texture, they're super glossy, and they do have a little bit of a slight tingle, but it's not too intense. So it's just like barely there. I really love those balms. And then of course the lip liners too, those are awesome. And then there's also this kit, which is actually what I'm wearing on my lips today in the video. This is called What a Slay. So in this one, you get the lippy pencil in Oh Snap and then the Sugar Cookie Ultra Glossy Lip. This combo is so beautiful. In a swatch, it doesn't look like much, but I'll show you what it looks like when I put it on today. And oh my gosh, this lip liner shade is everything. I see myself using this nonstop. It's like the perfect pinky nude, like Your Lips But Better color. And it's creamy, but at the same time, you can tell that this lip liner is really gonna hold on. So I just filled in my lips with it like a lipstick. And then I took that Sugar Cookie gloss and put that on top, which really still lets that color peek through of the lip liner, but it adds that little wash of shimmer that is so popular right now. So these kits are so cute. They would make amazing gifts, but honestly, I've just been having fun using them myself. So those are the lip kits. And then we also have these 2 eye kits. Don't mind the way they look. They just kind of slid down in the packaging. I've been using them, but I kept the boxes because I wanted to see what they were called like for this video. So we have Cozy Neutrals, which is the one I'm wearing on my eyes in the video today. And then there's also Let It Bronze. So I'll show you some swatches of each one really quick. Let It Bronze is definitely those more warm neutrals. And then you have the dark brown eyeliner. These shadows are so beautiful. And then Cozy Neutrals is a little bit of a lighter version. It's not cool tone, but it's not quite as warm. And then you have a lighter brown, like mid-tone liner. And there's something about these Colourpop quads, I don't know why, but I feel like they're a better formula than their bigger palettes. They're so pigmented. They're honestly incredible. When I was doing this eye look today, I was reminded all over again of how much I love these little quads. They just are so fantastic. To me, they could really compete with high-end eyeshadows. They're that good. And these eye pencils, the cream gel liner, this is another product of Colourpop's that I haven't used in a while, but I forgot how much I love them. They're very long lasting on your eyes, but they are so creamy. You don't even have to put any pressure. Like, look at that. I barely touched it, and look at how deep and intense the pigmentation is. It's wild. When I tried this again for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love these. So anyway, these eye kits are $14, so basically like $7 each for the eyeliner and the palette. I think they're such a good deal. Any of these kits would make amazing gifts. So they are available in store at Ulta. You can get them on the Colourpop website as well. So speaking of shimmery glosses, because those are a huge deal right now, we have these super lustrous glimmer glosses from Revlon. I also saw these over at Walgreens and I had to try these. I'm a huge fan of Revlon's lip glosses. They're regular ones. I think they're just called the Gloss. They have such a good formula and these feel pretty much identical. but they have some shimmer in the formula, which is honestly right on trend. So I ended up getting 2 shades to try, and these are a little bit more on the sheer side, but they have a super smooth, like soft, cushiony texture. It feels very pillowy on your lips, very balmy and not sticky in any way. And these are also super hydrating, and I think the little shimmers in the formula really make your lips look a bit more voluminous without any kind of like tingle or stinging. So I really love these. I think they're just a great way to try the shimmery lip trend. And if these are too sheer for you, you can always use them on top of either a lip liner or a regular lipstick and then just add a little bit of sparkle. And they smell nice. They have just a really light vanilla scent, but it's barely there. It's not super strong. So I really love this formula. These were at the top of my list today, along with the Colourpop kits. I just feel like there was a lot of disappointments in today's video, but sometimes that happens and I feel like it goes in waves. Sometimes like I try product after product from the drugstore and they're so good. And then all of a sudden I'll hit like a whole bunch of bad ones all at once. It's just the way that it usually works out. But as we head into December, there are always tons of new drugstore releases. So I'll be on top of them as always. Make sure that you're subscribed as we head into Vlogmas. I'm going to be doing a video every day of the week, Monday through Friday, during the month of December. And that always includes new drugstore launches. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to see more videos on my channel, I'll just put a couple right over there that you could check out next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.